Blacktopia, Episode 8, Discovery. He sees a familiar pair of glowing blue eyes staring back at him.
Showtime, mate. Thanks for the tip.
Wait, I know who you really are.
I don't care what you know. No one will believe you. You're just some surface-dwelling scum to them. That's why they all have to die for the porcelain hand.
A shadow eclipses the sky over the parade. Even the moon root dims, and complete darkness spreads. Only Icarus's demonic eyes glow.
Thought spraying and praying, lords. It's time to make Blacktopia great again. We'll call it Bloodtopia.
Blacktopia is lit up with the violent fireworks of gunshots. Shot in his prosthetic legs, Destin falls onto the sand. He feels his handcuffs shot off, and Dawn flips him around.
Baby, is that you? How did you get these off?
Those fish school dropouts were so preoccupied with you, they forgot to break my arms too. Once I wiggled free, I waited for a chance to save you. No one thought non-binary little me could sneak out into the crowd. Isn't luck just preparedness meeting opportunity?
Destin looks to Dawn's left and can make out the outline of a guard lying on the ground. The guard's blood soaks into the sand, and the moon root beneath begins to glow again. The light spreads. Fueled by their adrenaline and a strong trauma bond, they both giggle.
You're the fiercest flaming queer I've ever met.
Dawn starts to laugh too, but stops when they begin to choke on seawater. Destin looks down at their fishtail and sees a low battery icon. Horrified, Destin notices low battery icons appear in the darkness around them like meteors shooting across a countryside night sky. It seems that every citizen in Blacktopia is about to suffocate. At that moment, a vortex forms above them in the ocean, opening straight toward the surface, like when Destin arrived. The light gives enough charge to every prosthetic for everyone to breathe once more. Yet, while the Queendom caught their breath, Icarus took the chance to escape toward the surface with a scepter. Swimming after him, Destin sees silhouettes falling from the surface. More agents from the porcelain hand descend into Blacktopia. Their impact on the water sounds like explosions, yet they survive within their mechanized scuba gear. Ike aims their glowing scepter at the edge of the castle's bubble, but Destin swims in front of him just before he can pop it. Icarus tries to impale him with the scepter, but he flips backwards in just enough time to evade it with only a scratch.
Live up to your name, Destin.
Live up to your name, Destin.
Live up to your name,
Destin.
Below, the Queen tosses Destin a scepter of his own. The elders lead an army of women warriors against the mechanized giants, while Icarus chases Destin through the shifting landscape of the South Atlantic Ocean.
You're not the only one who escaped the box.
Why would you work against your own people?
No one escapes the Hahn. If I can't, neither will you. That's why I made sure they sent your son right back where he belongs.
Ike forces Destin toward the vortex, back into the air. Enraged, Destin drops his scepter and sticks his thumbs in Ike's eyes. They fall back into the water, and the force of the ocean knocks both of their bionic fishtails loose. Destin lets go of Icarus as they fall, and Dawn catches Destin. Once Icarus's upper body hits the ocean floor, Destin pounces on him. He wails with a flurry of punches that cause the moon root to glow brighter.
Tell me where you're keeping him. Tell me right now! I won't let you hurt anyone else!
When Destin looks up, he sees Tia staring back at him. Unafraid, she places 2 obsidian moon root powered fishtails at his feet.
The outage is caused by the plastic clouds!
Before he can find his scepter, Ike aims a space-aged rifle from one of the guards at the royal daughter. Destin makes eye contact with the queen and the founding matriarch being protected by guards just in time to see the horror on their faces. Without thinking, he leaps on top of Ike and takes the assault rifle fire.
Moonroot doesn't only conduct solar power. It conducts electricity. If we connect our prosthetics on the ground, it will power the area. If we remove the debris from the clouds, that will take care of that.
Tia and Dawn drag Destin away. But then Tia freezes. Paralyzed by homophobia, she starts to cry.
My man is dying, Tia. Be a queen already. Come on, royal house cat.
Filled with rage, Tia takes her first real action as queen. She stomps on Icarus's arms, takes his gun, and shoots directly into the sky. With masterful aim, she pops holes in the plastic clouds above. As power begins to return to Blacktopia, all the civilians and insurrectionists turn and stare at Destin, a demonized refugee martyred to protect their royal family. Delomi and a series of elite royal guards, including the elderly, trans, and cross-dressing servants, take advantage of this shift in the fighting to disarm the mechanized gunmen with Blacktopian tridents. One by one, each of the patriarchal invaders surrender and beg for mercy. Destin sees the queen providing aid to Dawn. As his eyes close, he smiles seeing Dawn being hugged by their mother, Delomi.
Is it over now? Can I come home?
In front of the gawking citizens, Zara rushes to them, wrapping Destin's wounds with her shawl. As Delomi and the guards round up the insurrectionists, the citizens gather close by and begin to pray for Destin. Kneeling together, the Queen Mother and Founding Matriarch take turns applying pressure and providing Destin CPR. Zara stitches him up as this happens. Once her job is complete, Zara holds Tia's hand tightly. To Zara's surprise, Tia then gives her a long kiss in front of the entire country. The elders nearly faint at the sight, yet they can sense the fear melting off of them. Dumbfounded, everyone stares at Tia.
From this day forward, we do not allow slavery. Not one of us is free until all of us are free. From the mountains to the deepest depths of this sea, Blacktopia will be free. Being in this blue bubble doesn't make us more worthy to live than those in the surface world or anyone else, for that matter.
Tia shoots Amina a look. Proud, Amina takes off her tiara and places it on Tia's head.
Creating a utopia requires more than lip service. Leading a utopia means more than virtue signaling. Half-hearted policies and militarism will get us nowhere closer to the promised land this queendom was.
Together, Tia and Zara lift Destin and stand him up on his moonroot fishtail. By pressing a hidden button on his hip, the fishtail transmutes back into his normal, 2 humanoid legs. Destin's original legs now have a familiar neon pink glow. Destin, speechless, hugs each of the royal family tightly. Dawn, reattached to a fishtail, swims up and hugs them too.
Ladies, the gays and theys will be given amnesty to seek asylum here. The men will not be cast out, but given a chance to prove themselves to us, just as the surface dweller Destin and my tutor Dawn have.
The entire country erupts in cheers. The citizens of Blacktopia, as well as the liberated servants, all rush to Destin and Dawn. They carry them back toward the palace. Behind, Tia and Zara smile and kiss while watching the parade. In ASL, Tia signs to Zara.
So, this is how we talk now?
Zara wipes a tear in Tia's eyes. As the retiring elders watch from afar, she kisses Tia again and signs,
It's not so bad. At least you have to listen when I speak now. For a feminist queen, you're hard-headed.
Tia and Zara kiss one more time before walking back to their newly inherited queendom. Children run and play, like in Destin's dreams. Almost 6 months later, Destin stands in a freshly minted moon root lab coat as he is knighted at a new coronation ceremony. He crosses a proscenium stage in front of the royal palace as if graduating from school. He shakes Tia's hand as he passes her, then takes a framed piece of seaweed from AMINA. Finally, he gives Matriarch Yai a big kiss on the cheek. Backstage, Zara signs a question to Dawn.
Oh, why did he want a framed copy of his seaweed handcuffs? Isn't that, like, dramatic?
Alone with Zara, Dawn's true African accent slips out.
I don't really understand at all. He never really got to go to this thing called an HBCU, so I guess he wants to recreate the rituals.
Laughing, Zara signs back.
Americans are so shameless and weird.
After the ceremony, Tia pulls Zara by the hand into the royal courtroom. This time, Tia takes her mother's seat in the chamber. She puts her feet on the desk.
What are you doing in my seat, house cat? Just because you have the gavel now doesn't mean you get to hold my heat-warming bench. Now, what was so important you had to call us together?
Tia nearly jumps out of her skin as AMINA enters the royal courtroom with the elders in tow behind her. Without a word, Zara lays out giant scrolls across the court. As they unfold, the royals read the list of names on their family tree.
What is all this? You better not have gotten any candy crumbs on our most sacred scrolls.
Zara kindly walks to her step-grandmother and guides her finger to a name at the top of the list. Destin Imani Sr. Below it, Destin finds his name, next to Epiphany. Destin looks around, panicked. His vision starts to tunnel again.
This scroll must be 400 years old.
How did they know I was gonna be?
Noticing Destin's condition, the Oracle and her daughter take each of Destin's hands and guide him to the floor. They demonstrate slow, 4-count box breathing.
For millennia, great thinkers have debated whether or not our lives are predetermined, or if fate is shaped by the discoveries we make while living our lives. Like the branches of a tree or the moon root underneath the queendom, sometimes our stories diverge on different paths, but they all meet again at one singular point someday.
So we're cousins! I knew you were cool.
In my family? What about them?
We'll find them too, I promise. We owe refuge to all the lost descendants of this place.
If your family's alive, I'll find them and bring them back to Blacktopia.
Destin lifts Tia to her feet and bear hugs her. He cries.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for bringing me home too.
End of Book 1. The Royal House Cat by Bairton.